At this point, it has long been established that, despite President Donald Trump repeatedly insisting that neither he nor his team have ties to Russia, they do. If they were forthcoming about those ties, then perhaps they could be easily understood, but instead, they remain hell-bent on keeping the truth hidden, a practice that begs the question of what they're guilty of. As the evidence against the president and his team members continues to pile up, BuzzFeed now has yet another revelation about a previously concealed tie of the president's team to Russia. The story ties into the newly scrutinized role of Trump lawyer Michael Cohen in the president's world, something that's been put under the microscope thanks to the hush money he gave adult film star Stormy Daniels for his boss. The new report from BuzzFeed focuses on an entirely different side to Cohen's work. As has already been understood in the past, Cohen's role as Trump's fixer drew him into harried, at times chaotic negotiations with prominent Russians for a potential Trump Tower Moscow. Some of the Russian interests involved in those negotiations had a part in Russian meddling in the 2016 U.S. elections. The never-realized tower wasn't going to be built by the Trump Organization, but the president's name would have been licensed for usage on what was said to be the tallest building in Europe. Negotiations surrounding that potential development fell through, but the circumstances of that collapse have been at least somewhat concealed by Michael Cohen. Again, then, the question presents itself of why the president and his associates seem so compelled to hide certain pieces of information. Cohen released a statement ahead of testimony to the Senate Intelligence Committee late last year in which he claimed the pursuit of Trump Tower Moscow to have been terminated in January of 2016, but that's a lie. In fact, discussions involving Cohen about the potential project stretched to all the way after Trump won the Indiana GOP presidential primary and was understood to have essentially clenched the party's presidential nomination. On May 4, 2016, Cohen wrote in a text message to longtime Trump business associate Felix Sater that Trump would be set to himself travel to Moscow to negotiate the terms of the development once he becomes the nominee after the convention. Cohen had at the same time expressed an intention to himself travel to Russia ahead of Trump before the GOP convention as a part of the process of negotiating the terms of the development. Neither Cohen nor Trump are understood to have ever actually traveled to Russia as a part of the plans for the non-existent Trump Tower Moscow. Cohen pushed off talk with Sater about traveling to Russia for the deal to after the GOP's national convention, and he never, according to BuzzFeed, picked it up again. Sater, speaking to BuzzFeed, cited a specific denial from the president of connections to Russia as what he felt was the death knell of the project.